Most farmers are barely surviving right now. Corn and soybean prices have been sliding for years. Margins are razor thin. But here's what nobody's talking about. There are farmers pulling $50,000 per month from spaces smaller than a basketball court. Same dirt, different game. The gap between struggling and thriving, it's just 10 crops. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones can flip everything. Traditional farming is collapsing. And while big ag corporations can absorb the hits, small farmers are getting destroyed. But there's a twist. While conventional farmers watch their fields drown, a small group of growers made record profits. They weren't growing corn. They weren't touching soybeans. They discovered something the agriculture industry doesn't want you knowing about. If you're ready to see how dirt can print money faster than most businesses, hit that subscribe button, because what comes next will change how you think about farming forever. Let's start with number 10, and trust me, we're building to something insane. Ginseng. This isn't your typical crop. Plant it today, harvest it in 8 to 12 years. Sounds crazy, right? But here's the kicker. Wild simulated ginseng sells for $800 per dry pound. Do the math. 1 acre can produce 300 pounds. That's $240,000 from land you barely touch. The Chinese market alone is worth billions. Plant it once, walk away. Come back in a decade to a small fortune. But patience isn't sexy, so most people skip it. Number 9 will surprise you. Goji berries. These tiny red fruits got labeled a superfood, and the market exploded. Packed with antioxidants, linked to anti-aging benefits, they're selling for $20 per pound dried. You can harvest 7,000 pounds per acre over 3 years. That's 46,000 per year per acre. Minimal maintenance, maximum profit. But here's what's wild. Most Americans have never even tasted a fresh goji berry. They're buying them dried by the truckload for smoothie bowls and health kicks, and growers can't keep up with demand. At number 8, we've got lavender. This purple flower is basically a money printer with multiple revenue streams. Sell fresh bouquets to florists, dry them for wreaths and crafts, extract oils for aromatherapy and skincare. 1 acre produces 12,000 bunches. Each bunch sells for $6 to $13 depending on your buyer. That's $24,000 to $52,000 per year. But here's the beautiful part. Once it's established, lavender practically grows itself. Low water needs, pest-resistant. Number 7 is where things get interesting. Bamboo. Not for food, for decoration and privacy screens. This stuff grows 3 feet in 24 hours in some species. Landscapers and homeowners will pay over $150 for a single potted bamboo plant. But the demand is so insane that growers are struggling to keep up. An average bamboo farm brings in over $60,000 per year. The plant that environmental groups warn about is making people rich. Halfway through, at number 6, chives. Yeah, the herb your mom sprinkles on baked potatoes. Except this gateway herb is pulling $64,000 to $128,000 per acre. Why? They're perennial. Plant once, harvest for years. They keep their leaves through winter and explode back in spring. 16,000 pounds per acre at $4 to $8 per pound wholesale. That's the gap between knowing and earning. At number 5, we've got wasabi. And here's the scandal. 95% of wasabi in Western sushi restaurants is fake. It's horseradish, mustard, and green dye. Real wasabi costs $50 for a 100-gram stem. Wholesale, $70 per pound. Direct to restaurants, $120 per pound. Why so expensive? It's considered one of the hardest crops on earth to grow. Takes 2 years to harvest, but nail the growing conditions and you're looking at $120,000 per acre annually. The difficulty creates the premium. Most people will never taste real wasabi in their lifetime.
Now we're entering elite territory. Number 4, saffron. The most expensive spice on the planet. $10 to $20 per gram, $5,000 to $10,000 per pound. Here's why. It takes around 150,000 crocus flowers to make 1 kilogram of dried saffron. And those flowers only bloom once a year. The harvest is brutal. You're hand-picking delicate stigmas from each flower. Number 3 gets controversial. Gourmet garlic. Not the basic stuff at grocery stores for $1 per pound. We're talking specialty varieties that sell for $16 per pound. Rocambole, porcelain, purple stripe. These aren't just ingredients, they're status symbols for chefs. 10 to 12,000 pounds per acre means 160 to 192,000 per harvest. The crop takes 130 to 180 days from planting to harvest, 2 cycles per year if you're strategic. But here's what nobody mentions. The market is getting saturated in some regions. Early adopters made fortunes. Latecomers are struggling to find buyers. Number 2 is where skeptics start paying attention. Mushrooms. Specifically, oyster mushrooms. These fungi can be grown vertically in massive hanging bags indoors, 6 to 8 weeks from spore to harvest. They sell for $10 per pound. In a 500 square foot space, you can produce around 12,000 pounds annually. Scale that up across multiple growing rooms, and serious operations are pulling 60 to 120,000 per year from relatively compact spaces. But hold on. The failure rate is brutal for beginners. Contamination can wipe out entire crops overnight. Plus, they don't ship well and spoil fast, so you need local buyers lined up. High risk, serious reward. This is the gamble that separates confident growers from cautious ones. And now, number 1, the crop pulling the most profit per square foot. Microgreens. These tiny plants are harvested after 2 to 3 weeks. They sell for over $15 per pound. Here's the real breakdown. You can produce about 1 to 2 pounds per square foot per month with proper setup. That means a 1,000 square foot operation generates 30 to 50,000 per month, 360 to 600,000 per year. From baby plants. The overhead is lighting and water. The market is restaurants, health stores, and farmers markets. And here's what makes this bulletproof. You're not dependent on weather. No droughts, no floods, no hurricanes. While traditional farmers filed claims for over $20 billion in weather-related losses, microgreen growers were expanding operations in warehouses and basements. So let's connect the dots. The farmers making 6 figures aren't the ones with the most land. They're the ones who figured out that value beats volume every single time. Ginseng takes patience. Saffron takes labor. Mushrooms take precision. Microgreens take speed. But they all share one thing: margins that traditional farming will never see again. The agriculture industry is splitting into 2 worlds. One is stuck farming commodities with single-digit profit margins depending on government subsidies to survive. The other is growing specialty crops with margins above 50%, turning garages into 6-figure operations. This isn't about romanticizing farming. It's about seeing opportunity where others see risk. While everyone's talking about the death of agriculture, a quiet group of growers is getting wealthy off crops most people have never heard of. If this opened your eyes to what's actually possible, smash that like button and share this with someone who needs to see it. Drop a comment telling me which crop you'd start with and why. I read every single one. And subscribe because we're just getting started exposing the money moves nobody talks about.